Thank you.
You're welcome.
New Jersey, as I understand, is like one of the richest states in the nation. It's got like
Yeah. We're so much cooler than you. I actually live in the county that is like number 3. I actually live in the town that was declared the greatest town to live in New Jersey this year.
fucker.
Well done, Gary. You
Can
should
I
be
can
very
I
pleased with
can I
yourself.
move in with you and like inhabit one of your bedrooms? I swear I'll be low profile.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. The assumptions that we built into that. Yeah. If you saw this house, you'd know. Yeah.
Whatever.
But
Can
anyway, I'm
can I have
obviously
can I have a
I'm
tent in like your
obviously
backyard?
the poorest. I'm obviously the poorest citizen in the greatest town to live in New Jersey. Okay, but I'm actually the poorest citizen.
Wonder
No,
why that is. Maybe it's because you sit at home all day.
It doesn't
Watching
matter
YouTube
why it is.
videos.
It just is. Okay, you wanna sit there and speculate on how I'm such a I deserve to be the poorest person in town kind of thing. Well, go ahead and do that. I think it's
Okay,
bullshit.
I will. I will. I'm gonna do it anyhow, so.
Well, whatever. I'm not making excuses for myself, but I do have a whole big pile of excuses. I mean, I could kick your ass if I needed to.
What do you mean you can kick my ass, stick man?
I just mean that I would have been, I could have been, I have powers far, far beyond even your wildest imagination, okay? I mean, the
I
planet
know.
I'm
They're
from is
called
so much bigger
insanity.
than the planet that you are from that, there'd be no contest.
Look, the fat edible napalm guy pawned you, so don't think too much of yourself.
Yeah, he pulled me with what? He's
All
through
your
what?
bullshit on
Yeah,
smoking, and tobacco taxes. You didn't do very well on that, I'm afraid.
yeah, I don't think he did very well on that. That's right. And so what did he do well on? So go ahead and explain to me what he did do well on.
No, I said you didn't, not
Oh,
him.
well, come
You.
on. I really, I have no, I am not at all concerned with my record on the subject of tobacco tax. So if anybody's going to be reasonable and rational, I can sort of point out that it's the most heavily taxed substance in the universe.
Oh my god, Gary has to pay money for his cigarettes so hospitals don't have to deal with his
Well,
cancer-causing
look, you're a
stink.
lawyer. I'm not gonna indulge the conversation with a propagandist. Okay, so you want to get kicked out of this room, just start having an argument about cigarettes and taxes, and you will thoroughly piss me off.
That's my intention. I'm not here to
Because
be a
all you can
friend.
do is lie. Well, I'm just saying, you're an overt, obnoxious liar then, okay? So why should I waste my time talking to somebody who I know is lying? You're smart enough to know what a tax is. You're smart enough to know what
What
bigotry
have
is.
I
And
ever lied
smart enough
about?
to know, you're smart enough to know that it's a minority vice and that's the only reason why it's taxed in excess, right? You're smart enough to know that.
It wasn't a minority vice. For a very long time, it wasn't a minority vice.
It was when it got taxed. Let's
No, it
talk
wasn't.
about when the taxes went from, reasonable 50% to, oh, let's make them 800%.
Even if they are extremely high, I don't care.
I didn't
Better than
care. I didn't
paying
ask
your
you to
cancer
care. That's
bills.
not the subject, fuck. The subject was whether I was right or wrong on the subject of taxation and how it's minority exploitation and how that's fundamentally unconstitutional. We have a
Oh, it's
constitution.
minority exploitation. They're charging me
The
for my tobacco.
Constitution
No!
for
It's the
discrimination, jackass.
Constitution! I'm being discriminated against.
Oh, what's the point?
let's just hope they don't start taxing Belgian chocolate.
Yeah, I mean, just such, these people. I mean, like I say, he's smart enough to know this, so he was just trolling. But I mean,
I
it's
don't
just,
know why I don't know why you let him in here every week.
Well, I don't. It's not like I invite him.
I know, but if I were you, I'd kick him immediately, because he doesn't contribute anything to the conversation. He just sits here
I
and
know,
tries
but
to
I
start
gotta have
shit.
some sort of hope that somehow he's going to do something someday. I just think that yeah, it's possible. Pigs can fly. I've seen it on TV.
Yeah.
I like that idea. he's gonna be, he's gonna do something someday. That's funny.
Yeah, well, I mean, well, whatever. I mean, I can't, I don't have any excuses for why I have sympathy for certain characters, but yeah, I sort of got used to them, and I don't know why I have, but I have gotten used to them.
My hairy legs were so attractive.
Maybe that's it. Yeah, that it was too weird for me. That video is just too weird.
Yeah, I was gonna ask him if he could go back to Angelina Jolie having an orgasm. That was a good one. I liked that one.
Yeah, well, oh, I don't even want to think about
Thank you.
silly celebrities.
Oh, god damn it.
Maybe you could find a better wardrobe. If he's going to bother having pink breasts, you think you could do better than wearing a shirt. But whatever. Gotta work with the props you have.
Yeah, to each his own, you know. At least he's happy, licking his pink breasts.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I'm just not, the man in drag thing. I have like, I got a trauma like when I was a kid. Milton Berle used to do that drag thing. It was just so bad that it just fucked my brain for life. I mean, I just couldn't get past it. You just don't do that.
Filled with righteous indignation.
They say that Milton Berle was named for a reason.
Can't hear you, DNA guy. You're back to having your bad mic, so you're back on the old zombie list again. Zombie curse coming.
That is a rough way to get introduced to the whole world of transvestitism, though. Milton Berle, Jesus Christ. That was an ugly man.
Yeah, he was an ugly man. Okay, I could see the histogram. Milton Berle, they say that he was named Milton, quote unquote, Berle for a reason. The guy was hung like an elephant.
Yeah, making a video. Adding any orange
Maybe you could dig up his big giant dick and use it to smash your microphone jack into the fucking hole!
What? You can't hear anything I'm saying?
I can hear what you're saying, but it's got that lousy, crappy, shitty static back on it again.
Yeah, it sounds like you're banging your mic against something.
We need Bandit in here.
No, we don't.
He had a good mic. Didn't he, Garrett?
Sorry about that.
Anyway.
Any better?
Yeah, right, no.
No? Still no better, huh?
Broken.
Alright, I'll go down to fucking guitar store tomorrow and buy a fucking new microphone.
Guitar store. Yeah, okay, go ahead. I'll go down to the elephant shoe store and buy a microwave oven. Yeah. What else will I do?
Well, it's either that or Radio Shack. I'd rather patronize my local guitar store.
local guitar store. It's not even like it's the international guitar store. It's the local guitar store. Because all the local
It's
guitars.
called fucking banana. Fucking I don't know. I mean,
Banana fucking I don't know. Like, what are you gonna do? You're gonna walk in there and go, man, my
all
mic
right, you
fucking
motherfuckers.
sucks,
I'll
bro."
look it up on the internet and prove to you it's a real fucking store. Fuck you guys.
Well, actually, you could probably get one sent from China, right? I had to get like a Bluetooth doggle-y thing, you know, because somebody got.
No, fuck you guys. You don't believe. Fuck you.
And it's just hilarious because I go on eBay to go buy one of these things, and yeah, I can get it from China for $1.02, right? So the fucker in China is going to send me this thing for $1.02, right? I mean, how does this make? You know, the world is completely broken when some fucker can write even my name on the fucking package for $1.02, right? He's actually going to send something in the package, all the way from fucking China. He's going to put it on an airplane and go all this for $1.02, and I can't send a letter. I can't send a fucking letter, you know.
Yeah, I don't think the guy at the banana what the fuck ever store is gonna help you because it sounds like you're talking on a banana, like you just plugged a banana into your computer, like a rotten banana.
Sounds like he's just got a bad jack, to tell you the truth. It sounds like you just need to clean the jack off, but whatever. Clean the jack off? That doesn't sound right. Yeah, that doesn't sound right at all.
That might be the problem. There might be
Yeah.
spooge in his mic.
Yeah.
Maybe it was TJ's banana.
Oh, that's just, yeah, TJ. He hasn't done any, whatever. I guess he doesn't have to anymore since he just got a big new pile of money from the suckers. So, yeah, he doesn't have to do TJ does life videos anymore.
When did he get a new pile of money? I haven't watched him in a while.
Yeah, him and Thunderfoot both did this thing called, what the hell is it called? Somebody must know the name of it.
Oh,
But,
Patreon?
yeah, so they both got a big, huge, giant pile of money. Like, $2,000 a video or something. $2,000 a video! I mean, $2,000 a video! I mean, it's hilarious. Oh, man. That's a life. I would be a millionaire at that rate, right? I figure like 4 videos a day. I could do at least 4 a day, right? At least, I could clean up 8 grand
Oh,
a
yeah.
day.
I would be
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
I'd be cranking out the shitty videos fucking one after the other. 10 a day.
Yeah, it really is, surprising. I mean, whatever. I mean, this whole whatever it is. I mean, obviously I have lost a lot of my charm on the internet. I guess all this, negative talk about life has pissed people off, but yeah, it just amazes me. His Thunderfoot videos are just horrible. I mean, TJ's videos, I mean, you can hate TJ, but he is a little bit more witty and articulate than, I mean, his videos are hard to watch. Just surprises me that people would pay that kind of money. But that would be the funny thing to see is if TJ actually takes the advertising off his videos. Because that was what he said he was going to, oh, look, we can have videos without advertising if you just pay me. Yeah, so we'll see if the ads come off. But I shouldn't even say like that's something we should speculate on. I mean, TJ gets, you can just overtly just tell people, I'm just going to steal the money, okay? And I'm going to laugh my ass off with your money. And people would still pay him. Just can do no wrong.
Just had a yummy orange, and I said, what do I do now? I think I'm
Those guys, stop that. Oh, I forgot about that guy. Yeah, remember I had an argument with that funny hat guy.
Gary Edwards.
Oh yeah, whatever it's that. That's the same name as me. I don't even recognize him as having the same name. It's funny. I don't acknowledge my name. I've really never been uncomfortable with my name. Doesn't seem a proper name.
There's a lot worse names than you can have.
Yeah, there are, but it just, just doesn't do anything for me.
Your name could be like Lafayette or something.
Well, yeah, it could be really bad. Yeah, it could be one of like them girl names or something. You're like, ooh.
Gary's a pretty manly name. You know, sounds kind of like a mechanic.
Yeah, I think it converts to something like one who throws spears or something. When you look up what it means, which is kind of fun. Okay, that's cool. I throw spears. Cool.
Yeah, mine means meek and humble, or small.
Well, that
Small.
sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, the only reason why I have my name is just they were looking, because I had the twin sisters, so they went with Gary and Gail, and so that's, so it seems like a contrived name, so I guess that's why I've never been comfortable with it. It just seems like a made-up name. Oh, they just wanted a name that rhymes. I see. How very cute.
My roommate named his son Atticus.
That's kind of a weird name, right? That's one of those borderline kind of things, like, okay, it's sort of interesting, but, yeah, that's like, I don't know. It's cool that it's the Mockingbird movie, but other than that, what do you do with an Atticus? I mean, that's too fucked up. But everybody's naming their kids stupid shit like, like naming them after like minerals and stuff. Like oxygen, or like whatever. They just see it. Yeah, Pyrex. Yeah, that's Corningware. Yeah, frying pan. I mean, whatever's laying around. You just okay, light bulb.
The best response I got to Atticus was, "Isn't that like a calculator?"
Yeah,
Yeah, no.
yeah, abacus. Yeah, it's funny. That like Nutella? Yeah, right, yeah. You spread that on toast? Abacus?
Question.
Well, here's the answer. I tried to give you the fucking answer.
All right,
The
all
answer
right,
is
all right.
all right.
Go, Paul.
Okay. The answer is infinitely scarier and infinitely more simple than all the Bilderberg bullshit. It's a monkey fucking a coconut. Nobody
That's not
knows
an
what's
answer.
going
That's
on.
a
Nobody
fucking.
cares.
That's a fucking flowery
No,
metaphor.
it is.
That's not an answer. Give
No,
an
no, it
answer.
isn't. It isn't.
A
That really
monkey
is the
fucking a
answer.
coconut is not
Nobody's
an
in
answer.
charge.
Pauls.
Nobody's driving the bus. Nobody's driving the bus. Everybody's out for themselves. They're all fucking one another. They're all fucking us. Nobody knows what's going on. There's no long-term plan or goal. It's accumulate, accumulate, accumulate. Make as much money as we can. Step on as many corpses as we can to get there. There's no plan. There's no conspiracy. It's just greed and accumulation.
And I appreciate.
Equation. The bankruptcies have happened over and over and over again. This will not be the first time the system collapses. It's been going on for thousands of years, okay? And it's because people keep falling into the same trap because of greed, okay? It's just a simple human. All right,
But that
people are not.
still is not an answer. That's still talking about how the elite are stepping over the fucking, mud people. That's not a fucking answer to the question.
their own people, okay? The slaves, everything. Oh, it's always not. It's not just the elite who sell out. Everyone sells out.
For,
All right, but
for,
let me just say that that was an unsatisfactory answer. It did not answer my question. It did not
All
satisfy
right.
me as to.
Reptilians then. The reptilians did it. How's that? Does that make you happier? The
No,
reptilians.
no. I mean, Gary, come on. I'm trying to be serious here for a fucking minute.
You're not being serious. You're sitting there demanding some explanation that doesn't
I
have.
am.
Because
I mean, Paul said he knew what the fucking answer was, and that was an unsatisfactory answer.
Look,
oh, an
just because
engineered system always fails the same way. It's wrong for Paul to say if you don't make a boat by some kind of standards, it will sink. So Paul's wrong to say the obvious answer is it sank because it wasn't made to be a boat.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I should give him a second chance at it.
No, well, I don't need a second chance at it. Here's the deal. Like, an answer is not unsatisfactory because you don't like it. Like, that doesn't make an answer unsatisfactory.
Well, okay. What was the? If you could recapitulate and humor me, and
This is the answer, okay? You're saying that there's a thing here that's broken. Okay, the argument being made is there's nothing building it. Of course it's broken. All right, if I take Tinker Toys and I just throw them on the floor, all right, they will not be a windmill. All right, they're just going to be stupid sticks. And
right.
that's the answer, okay? The answer is if you don't organize, if you don't apply any engineering to a system, the system will suck, all right? If you make a watch and you have no plan on how to make a watch, you won't have a watch. So guess what? Living, all right, as civilized humans requires the application of civilization, okay? So that's the answer. The answer is we are uncivilized because we are uncivilized. We haven't been civilized.
Well, I mean that's actually closer to my point of view than I think Paul's point of view. I mean, Paul's point of view is it seems kind of vaguely or not so vaguely conspiratorial, and
My point of view is my point of view is the exact opposite. There is no conspiracy.
Exactly. A monkey fucking a coconut is not a conspiracy.
Yeah.
He's basically saying you don't bother asking why it's stupid. Okay, it's obvious. Okay, it's a stupid monkey fucking a coconut. Oh.
for the record, it's not a coconut, it's a frog.
Well, either way, whenever a monkey's fucking, it's always going to look wrong.
all right. Well, anyway, Paul, I'm sorry to misconstrue your position and misrepresent you in ways that were unfair. But
You don't have to apologize to me. It's okay. It's just it's one of those things that people spend so much time and energy talking about, the conspiracy and the Rothschilds and the Bilderberg group, and it's all it's none of that matters. There's no plan. There's no fucking plan to subjugate humanity to anybody's will. It's opportunism. Rank
Right.
opportunism, and that's it.
I just think that the furthest you can go with it is talking about things like bloodlines, and when you talk about how many resources have been procured by a specific group of people over a span of, let's say, 200 or 300 years, if you can keep a bloodline pure, that's really what I feel like people are speculating on when they talk about their Bilderbergs and the Rothschilds and all that stuff. We're talking about dynasties.
Well, I think people just think that civilization just happens, that you don't have to make it happen. And that's the fallacy we've always lived under, right? All of this shit is about, we're back to free markets, we're back to the whole thing. I mean, people talk about anarchy. Well, what did anarchy create? Oh, France, England, Germany. That's what anarchy created, was empires, nation states. So yeah, it's always going to gravitate. Wealth has been gravitating into fewer and fewer hands. It always works that way. That's what it does. Ownership always does that. And if you don't create a system to stop it, that's what it'll do. So that's the conspiracy, if you want to call it a conspiracy. Tomorrow it ends if we, the people, say, fuck that, let's do something better. But we're too afraid to do anything. We're too afraid to change anything because we might lose our goodies. The people who have something don't want to lose the something they have, so they don't want to put anything at risk, and so they won't do anything that needs to get done to make anything good happen.
Yeah, is it fear or laziness? Yeah, I know you don't, Gary.
I think it's fear. I think it's fear.
You think it's fear?
Yeah, I think it was laziness in the 50s and the 60s because people did have the luxury to do things right, and they chose not to. But it's fear now because people are desperate. People don't have anything, and so they have a debt.
Right. We're witnessing the. I'm sorry. We're witnessing the deconstruction of Western civilization. I mean, piece by piece, right? I mean, despite the incredible futile efforts of the Federal Reserve to keep, this alive by pumping billions of dollars.
What do you think happened in 1929? I'm just saying we've been here and done that. So yeah, we're at the same, been there, done that, except now we're even more vulnerable just because of the way civilization has grown, and we have.
I agree on that.
And we're so dependent on the infrastructure. So the only thing that made the 29 crash different is that people were much more resourceful, and they're not going to be so resourceful this time around.
I mean, I thought the 2009 crash, when the S&P 500 hit, what was it, 660? I thought that was it. I thought we were going to just like plummet through the floor, but somehow the Federal Reserve pumping money into the banking system and all the the housing market and the dead housing market.
It's all debt. Okay? The only thing in the stock market, all this value in the stock market is all debt money. So because in the stocks, none of the stocks are worth anything anyway, right? So it's all a Ponzi scheme anyway. So yeah, whenever you create debt, it automatically goes into the stock market. So as soon as the government stops borrowing money, it's when the stock market goes down. So that's the doom here, is that the funny part is these Republicans, these rich people everybody thinks are in control, aren't even smart enough to know they'll blow up their own golden, whatever it is, turkey, when they when they cut government spending or they stop deficit spending, the stock market has to go down. It has no choice but to go down, because it's all made out of that borrowed money. So I mean, the $2 trillion a year the government was borrowing is the whole reason why the stock market went up. Debt makes the markets go up. Paying the bills doesn't.
Yeah, we're in agreement on that one.
Debt makes rich people richer. So the more debt created, the richer the rich people get.
But I don't think that these rich people have thought this out to its true logical conclusion. Where are they going to go? Where are they going to go? Martha's Vineyard, the Hamptons, with their hedge privettes. Where are they going to go? When there's millions, when there's
what they're counting on. I'm going to answer your question. There's no point in you doing a bunch of your bibble on top of it. It's a reasonable question. The point is, what they're counting on is that everything's going to get rebalanced. Okay, so you get rid of the old debt. So if they hold any kind of asset, they'll be able to survive the crash, and then they can do what the Kennedys did and other people did, and that is they can basically sell the crash short, and then they can, at the new beginning point, they can start off rich again. So they'll start off with an advantage. They'll be able to buy mansions for 15 cents because no one else will be able to outbid them for anything because no one will have any money. And they'll just start over again, except they'll start over without all the debt money. So they'll start off as owners rather than owners of debt. So they'll own property instead. So we'll go back to where Russia is now. So there'll be a few people who will own everything, but at least everybody won't be in debt. But that'll be the only difference. And then we'll just go back to renting our lives from the rich again and slowly accrue all the debt all over again.
Yeah, so basically it's 1929 all over again. I mean, it's a massive transfer of wealth from the poor and the middle class to the rich. And that's only now it's like that times 10. Now it's going to be like the super wealthy, and everybody else is just going to be slaves fit for, sorry to use Alex Jones' metaphor, but fit for FEMA camps. And
Well,
that's
whatever. I'm
it.
just saying ownership is the key to the whole thing, right? So it's the depth of the ownership and whether they can maintain control or ownership. And so I'm just saying that, I mean, depending on how the crash goes, maybe they won't be able to retain that ownership. And so that would be the saving grace, is that if we don't allow them to regain ownership. I mean, you have to recognize that before 1929, they didn't have an income tax. They didn't have a lot of the weapons we have now.
I'll take advantage of this lull in conversation to say goodnight to everybody. Thank you guys for the talk and the company. I appreciate it.
Yeah, it was good to see you, Paul. I missed you and such. I mean, I felt a little bit slighted because, yeah, you were doing your little Google thing, and so you didn't come here anymore because you're all tired out and worn out on your Fridays and blah, blah, blah. But, I understood, so it's
Well,
okay. So I'm just,
I just
I
had to
see
get
it.
on the Tiny Chat boat. I'm lazy, so I had to sign up for an account, and you know how that goes.
Yeah, I know. I mean, it's way too much trouble. I wouldn't go to the trouble either. Yeah, okay.
But
You're
I'll be
awesome.
back. I had a good time. So good night, everybody.
Thanks. Good seeing you and such. So forth and whatnot. It's kind of nostalgic. Like the good old days, when the celebrities would come in volume. He was the only celebrity, right? Yeah, there wasn't any other celebrities, were there? Yeah, I'm trying to remember who other celebrities were. There really wasn't any, were there? Oh, Coughlin. Yeah, Coughlin used to show up. He was a celebrity.
Didn't Miley Cyrus show up here one night, or
Yeah,
do some twerking?
I know. I think that was somebody in a mask or something. Yeah, TJ. Well, TJ, actually, I was in somebody else's room with him, I think. Well, actually, no, I think he came into my room once, I think. I'm not sure. I can't remember. But yeah, that was, yeah, once.
So,
Yeah.
Gary, if I can do like a sort of a right angle, total directional shift into a new domain, I'd really like to see you do something in the graceful exit domain, because you haven't done that in a while now, and I've watched quite a few of your videos, and I don't think you've done that in quite a while, and I don't know, maybe you feel like, well, everything I needed to be said has been said, and well, whatever. If you feel that
I mean,
way, fine.
it's one of those third-party kind of subjects for me. It's one of those subjects where it's just so frickin'. This is something that should have been done a long time ago, and the fact that we still have to fight it, it's just so. Part of me is just so frustrated by that.
Well, so
Goes back to the whole Kevorkian thing. I mean, the Kevorkian thing was just such a glaring, you know, signal that people they're just not ready to be humans here. They're just not ready to be decent.
no,
And
and
it's sad and
I think
pathetic.
I think you did a good job of articulating that, but I think the part that's missing is the part that people don't get is that uh, not hooking somebody up to end-of-life systems is not the same, capital N-O-T, not the same as euthanasia. Those are not the same things, and so many people are confused about that. And I don't think it matters what religious denomination you belong to, Catholic, Protestant, whatever, uh, atheist. Those are not the same. Simply a Buddhist, uh, simply refusing end-of-life care, that is not the same as euthanasia. And I see so many people get confused over that. And I think you could be
You have a right to refuse care to some extent, so that's not really an issue.
right, but I mean, so many people don't understand that just simply refusing end-of-life care, that's that's not euthanasia. That's just simply refusing to be
I know,
to
but
have
you
your
have
life
that.
prolonged.
You do have that right. So I'm just saying that I don't know. That's not a right that needs to be fought for.
I think the real confusion comes in where the doctor's responsibilities are concerned. Um, the doctor has a lot of ethical considerations. I mean, of course, he has monetary considerations. I mean, it's his job to prolong life and to save life and to do no harm. But whether or not a doctor is ethical in helping a patient that wants to die, and what routes that doctor can take in order to help that patient to die without, incriminating themselves like Kevorkian did.
Well,
That's
I'm just
where the
saying we
real
have
contention lies.
laws.
Yeah,
So
but
it's
we're not even talking about Kevorkian. We're not talking about phenobarbital and vodka, like whatever. Uh,
Yeah, that is what we're talking
Heaven's
about.
Gate. We're
What if you
simply
die?
talking about not plugging somebody
understand, but you're
into a
saying
machine.
that, but you have that control now. I'm just saying that doesn't a right you need to fight for, to tell you the truth. If you have a living will, if you write your own living will, you are pretty much going to be saved or spared that indignity.
Okay, so maybe that's where it needs to start. Maybe it needs to start with the living will.
Well, I'm just saying you can write your own living will. You don't even need a legal one. But I'm just saying that that's not an issue. Is the
Yeah,
idea to
but
refuse care
I mean,
has been
do I even need to bring this up? I'm talking about the whole Terry Schiavo case, and
right, and it's an old case, isn't it? Yes, it is. It's an old case, and Terry Schiavo actually, like I said, all she needed to have was a signed statement from her saying what she intended or what she wished for herself, and that probably would have been respected. But it was the fact that it was a little bit ambiguous that was the only problem. And so you had competing interests in her own family, and so it was her own family that fucked this thing up. So I mean, you can't play both sides here and say that those are already complex legal issues. The point is that it's a person's individual rights, their life has their right to invest their life in their own judgment. And that's what has to be respected. So I'm just saying whether you want to die is what has to be respected, not how you die. I shouldn't have to wait for nature to make me terminally ill before I have a respectable right to die.
Are you discussing, sorry to interject, are you discussing assisted suicide? Is that what's going
Yeah,
on?
well, that's where I'm saying it
well,
goes. Yeah.
no, that's not what I'm talking about.
Well, then you're not talking about a graceful exit. Because in my opinion, there's no point in gracefully exiting after you're already dead.
What I'm talking about for the 18,000th time is the
So
difference.
talking about again. What's the point about talking about extreme cases where somebody goes into a coma and there's nobody around to make a decision? And again, I'm saying that legally what's already been demonstrated is that if you write down on a piece of paper somewhere a living will, just state in one paragraph that you don't want to be hooked up to machines, that will be respected.
Right, and I'm saying that there is nothing in religious literature, Christian, Judaism, Buddhism, whatever, that contradicts that. That is not that is not the same as euthanasia. That's
Well, I'm
what
not
I'm
going to
saying.
argue. I don't care. I
Wait,
mean,
can
I
I
know
ask you
we
something?
worry about
Don't,
fighting
do
for
not
life.
God, or is that how?
We already have the right, okay, not we already you already have the right to ensure that you are not exposed to medical care you don't wish to receive. So you can already protect yourself against it by creating a living will and informing members of your family that this is what you want. So as long as that's done, you're going to be protected from being plugged into any goddamn machines.
Well, I just wanted to say, but at what point, what if you're, when can you say that someone, by doing that, is being negligent to other responsibilities that they're just trying to escape from, such as a family or children, or...
Doesn't matter. Who the hell are you to say what their responsibilities are? It's their life. It's not your life. You don't have a right to tell them what they should do or shouldn't do. It's none of your business, that's for sure.
Well, when it's affecting others or other parts
Well,
of
how's it
society...
affecting others? What? You don't own people, do you? Are they your slaves? They're slaves to you? They have to live for you or something? What? Do they owe you money or something? What's your argument? Why do you have a right to tell them they should live?
Because of situations that they've created that they need to take responsibility for.
I don't even know. I couldn't hear you, but feedback.
I said because of situations or issues that they've created that they need to take responsibility for. I mean, I guess they don't have to, and everyone's condemned to free will and blah 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 blah.
Well, I'm just saying, if
But
they have kids, then they have responsibilities to make the argument if they have kids. But I'm just saying you can't make the argument if they're just and they own their own life, then they don't have any obligation.
well, I'm not talking about if they're just on their own. I feel like if you're in charge or responsible for another person's well-being and they're incapable of handling themselves, then at what point can you just like check out? But I don't want to say check out because that makes it seem very like superficial. You know what I mean? No.
Well, I'm just saying I don't think anybody's obligated to anybody else unless there's some sort of, like I said, unless they made a contract of some kind. So yeah, you got to meet your contracts. But I mean, if I haven't contracted myself into serving somebody else, then yeah, when I want to go, I'll go. It's nobody else's business but mine.
And at what age do you think that assisted suicide should be legal? Because then any emotional, like, 12-year-old could say, oh, I want to die. I mean, how...
I mean, I would make the simple argument that as soon as you have some doubt about whether you want to live or not, you probably are done, okay? You've already demonstrated that you're not getting it. The game doesn't make sense to you. So if you're capable of not thinking you know what the hell you're doing or you don't like being here, then yeah, I don't, why should I assume uh, a right or wrong answer? The point is who should decide? I say ultimately the person's life is their life. If they don't see value in it, who are you to tell them it has value? You're nobody. You don't know. You don't know what's in their best interest. So you might as well let them decide. But I mean, like I said, the very fact that they have some doubt should indicate that it's not certain that it's worthwhile that they keep living.
Well, you're looking at it at a very individual, like, very libertarian views of individual rights. But then you could argue that for everything, that each person always knows what's best for them. But what if the person in question doesn't have enough knowledge to know that their choices are going to be the right choices?
Prove they're incompetent before you claim they're incompetent. Okay, I'm just saying, if you're going to sit there and tell somebody you're going to take control of their life, well, then demonstrate that they're wrong. So if you can prove that they
You're
don't know...
arguing that anyone at any age could be competent to make a decision like that.
That's better than letting somebody else tell them what is the truth. I don't want some religious nut telling me what the truth is. All right? I don't have any obligation to respect their insane, stupid notions of what reality is. So yeah, I rather have the rights than to give the rights to somebody else. It's mine first.
You see, I feel like you're right, and you have good points. But I mean, because you said I feel like you still have to respect others' opinions. You don't have to give them authority over you, but I feel like they are entitled to their own, however they
Their
rule their lives.
opinion regarding my life? Why are they entitled to an opinion regarding the worth of my life? Why?
Why aren't they entitled?
Because it's mine. It's not theirs. That's why they're not entitled.
Well, how is
Now,
them judging or making opinions on you going to affect you at all unless you take it to heart?
I'm
I
just
mean,
saying, it's
everyone can judge
your business.
as much
If
as
I
they
want
want,
to kill myself
or
at
come up with their own theories,
10
or
years
whatever, and
or 25 years old, what gives you the right to claim you know best? I said, until you prove somebody incompetent, you don't have a right to take their rights away. Jeez. Stupid cunt.
Yeah, I think what she was getting at though was this idea that in taking your own life or opting out or however you want to put it, um, the impact that it would have on the people around you. So I think that's what she was speaking to.
Like,
So
I know, but that issue I already dealt with. Why should I'm not somebody's property.
no,
They
you're
don't own me unless I make a contract and I say I'm going to love you forever. And I'm going to stay and help you forever and ever. I'll be your best friend forever and ever. Blah, 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 blah. Unless I do that, I don't owe anybody. I don't owe anybody anything. I haven't indebted myself to anybody. So fuck them.
so what about people that have children then?
Well, I said if somebody has children and they've made they've created an obligation. I still wouldn't force people to live who don't want to live. So I would find somebody else to take their kids because I don't see any point in somebody who doesn't want to live raising kids. That doesn't sound like a great idea. So yeah, I just don't see any point in forcing people. If people are done, they're done. Let them go.
Point taken. I was hoping to get around to asking her if she was ever going to have kids, but we didn't get that far.
Yeah, well, she sounds like somebody who's ready to cook some
Yeah.
buns.
She
You know?
can't wait to find the right guy.
Yeah, well, I don't even know if she wants the right one. Any guy will do, probably.
You're a doctor?
Alright, last cup of coffee. Oh. Damn, that's hot.
Great acts will be found worthy thanks.
So anyway, where were you, wayward guy? What's the story? How come you were so late?
My family's over for Christmas.
Oh, yeah, lame excuse. You don't like your family anyway. It's bullshit excuse.
Well, okay, to be fair, I don't like one member of my family, and she actually came and was here for 2 days, and on the second day she already started a big shitstorm, and I think she ended up leaving with their car and leaving my dad and my sister like alone in Arizona without a car.
Yeah. Holidays are always nightmares.
Well, they're not really. I had a
It's
very.
not that. It's
They are in my family, and most families.
family was charming as fuck, and we always had this wonderful little Christmas, and everybody have a dinner, and we all be happy, and everybody went, happy, 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 happy. It was disgusting, but it's true.
Yeah, my family Christmas was like the Sopranos Christmas, like sisters and brothers punching each other in the face.
Yeah, no, we never had really, I mean, I have to say, I mean, I had really a very low drama family. There really was no drama in our family. Well, except when my sister became a hooker, and then she became a religious nut, and that was a little bit dramatic. But other than that, it was pretty low drama.
Other than your sister becoming a hooker and a religious nut, yeah, other than that, you're perfectly normal. Okay.
Yeah, no, it was good. You know, it was good up till then. It was pretty normal. Yeah, it really was a bizarre transition. And you know, it was really strange too, because I got, you know, me and her started hanging out together. We really started liking each other. And then she went to California, and everything went to hell. And you know, then she came back from California. She was all full of this Pentecostal religious kookery, and I kept trying to understand what she was talking about, but just wasn't working.
Yeah, this idea of being saved, so profound for some people, for a lot of people.
Well, it really does. I mean, it really does fuck with your mind. You know, I mean, any kind of religious conversion, it doesn't matter whether it's Christian or Buddhist or Hinduism. I mean,
Yeah, I
around.
just couldn't,
Oh,
you know, she just
yeah, go ahead.
she wasn't stupid, and I just kept trying to figure out like, why are you falling for this shit? You know, I mean, I went to her Pentecostal church a couple of times, and I was like, come on, what is this crap? I mean, why are you falling for this shit? You know, and just give me these pamphlets, and I'm like, come on, man, dinosaurs are real, okay? It's not a myth. You know, I mean, it was just, it was so bad. You know,
It affects certain brain centers. I mean, I know I fell for a lot of this shit in my life, and you know, I think, you know, one of the things that I want to do is I want to found like an anti-church church where I can like help people who've fallen into this crap, you know, help cure them. I don't know if I can, but maybe I can.
yeah, I don't know. I didn't get anywhere, that's for sure. I mean, she, you know, well, right up to the end, she was still, you know, counting on Jesus saving her. It just didn't happen.
I
Yeah.
honestly think that people go through, people have these like profound, uh, religious experiences or whatever we want to. I guess religious experience I think is the most appropriate because these people are so convinced. I have a good friend that I grew up with who who swears up and down that in his moment of darkest despair, deepest despair, he called out to God and he felt that presence. And that's not something that anybody can take away from him. I mean, no matter how irrational and inconsistent the Bible is, it doesn't change the fact that he felt that, and he feels in his heart of hearts that that's what he felt. I mean, we could tell him he's delusional and all that, but
Well, I mean, I believe him. I mean, you know, I had some really bad mushroom trips where like fucking I was just being assailed by demons, and like the only thing that, you know, brought me out of it was just saying the Lord's Prayer over and over and over. It didn't seem like the best prayer, but it did get me out of it, and I felt like if I didn't do that, I was gonna die, you know, and so I mean, I can understand people, you know, resorting to that. Um, yeah, it
Yeah, I
doesn't.
can't, just can't get it at all. I can't get how you can fall for any of that shit.
It's not faltering. I mean, Gary, it's not faltering. It's like
you
being
just
in
said
the.
it was like not more than 5 minutes ago. You were just talking about how you want to cure people from this falling into. So it is, you like literally just flip-flopped.
Well, no, I mean, yeah, I mean,
No,
I guess
ain't no nothing. You flip-flop, man. Hardcore. But it's okay. Continue your thought.
All right, whatever you want to believe, that dude. I'm not into arguing with people, but maybe I just haven't articulated
You're
my
not into arguing with people? Yeah, right.
That's hilarious. Yeah, I mean, you're just gonna keep. Let's see how far I can shove my foot right the fuck
Hey,
down
look,
my.
dude, seriously, I was trying to help somebody. I mean, if you just give me a second here, I was really trying to help somebody. I was saying I've been in the depths of a deep, like 5 gram mushroom trip where
Right, you did
fucking
this already. You did the mushroom trip thing. Yeah, we get it. Okay, you did some drugs. You got all panicked. You wet your pants. You got scared of the demons, and so you pulled out some voodoo to stop the demons. I'm just saying, I don't get it.
yeah. Well, that's it. I mean, you just summed it up in 60 seconds.
I don't
There you
think
go.
I could ever see any kind of leprechaun that I'm going to believe in. Okay, I don't care how many
Well,
mushrooms I take.
that's because Gary, you've never done any hard psychedelic drugs, and you
I
don't know
have,
what it's
but I'm not
you
going to
don't know
argue
what
with
it's like to be in those. You don't know what sheer terror is like to fucking
you. Fuck
feel the
you.
devil
You. Fuck,
biting your ass, and you
fuck you.
don't know what that's like.
I don't know what a devil is. That's for damn sure. Okay, yeah, I got that. I haven't seen the devil since I was 9 years old.
I'm
So, but
metaphorically speaking. God, Gary, come on. I'm saying you're in a bad space, and you're trying to get out of the bad space.
you don't know why you're in the bad space. You don't know. You can't put the two and two together and say I'm in a bad space because I took a hallucinogenic. You can't draw that simple conclusion.
Well, not when you're in the midst of that experience. No,
Yes,
you can't
I just
think
don't buy it. I'm
logically.
sorry. I
No.
guess I just saying I just don't buy that bullshit. So that's all I'm going to say to that.
It's not quite related either because I mean that was only temporary. Gary's talking about his sister who I guess had some kind of religious experience and it changed the rest of her life.
Right. I guess we did kind of detour off from Gary's sister. Okay. And that my apologies.
Well, what I would say to Gary
I'm
is
guilty of that.
what I would say to Gary is yeah, a lot of people do fall into that, but the fact that you didn't I guess kind of just speaks to how different you are.
That's a little bit different than what I was talking about. I mean, Gary's sister's experience sounds like, I mean, that sounds like religious schizophrenia. It's a little bit different than what I was talking about.
Well, it's the
I mean,
Stockholm syndrome, whatever the fuck it is. I'm just saying it's this idea that, right, something beats you up and then you run to anything, and anything that doesn't beat you up, you say, ah, it's God because it didn't beat me up. That's the silly part of it, right? I mean, it's not like it really earned it. It's just that it took her, she was in hell, and then she, fell out of hell, and any arm she fell into this is the good guy because it didn't beat me up, it didn't rape
well, I
me, it
mean,
didn't.
she was seeking peace and solace. She was seeking sanctuary from
She
her
was seeking
torment.
anything but the bad. It's all the point is. The point is she wasn't running to something good. She was running from something bad, and
Right.
anything that
Well,
wasn't
we
bad
agree on
became
that.
Yeah, and she won't let go of it because she's desperately afraid of falling back into that bad state she was in.
exactly. Well, she doesn't have to worry about it anymore, but now she's dead. But I'm just saying.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, sorry.
I didn't
Well, it's
know about
okay.
that.
This
Sorry
is
about
a
that.
long time ago. She died of cancer, blah, blah, blah. She kept trying all these cures because Jesus was going to save her, blah, blah, blah. And none of that happened. And it's all very tragic and horrible and disgusting. And, she had a daughter, and it's just really bad. But anyway, but yeah, she just held on to it right to the end almost. Well, it's almost to the end. And then she got pretty depressed. But it just, it's just, I'm just saying that the amazing part is that she had what seemed to me a pretty coherent brain, and she became dumber and dumber with every year of the bullshit. And I couldn't even talk to her by the time she was 2 or 3 years into it. It's like we couldn't even have a conversation anymore because every conversation was about how I need to get saved, and I was, prodigal son, and all kinds of bullshit. And it was just like, I don't need these conversations. I mean, fuck this shit. I'm not some fucking creature you can pull this crap on. I don't need your
She called you
preaching.
the prodigal son.
Yeah, that kind of shit. Yeah, I mean, this whole thing, like I'm going to hell and all this crap, and I'm like, whatever, fine. As long as it says, hey, as long as I'm somewhere you're not, I'll take it. Because it was so obnoxious. Yeah, all you arrogant fucks can go sit there and nag each other in hell, I mean, heaven forever. I'll be glad to be rid of you. I mean, it was just
But I
so
mean,
preachy. That was the
these
disgusting part. It's like I was already a pretty damn good person, and I was already like, going to hell for what? What the hell is my crime? You want to give me a list of my crimes, bitch? That really just sort of pissed me off. That she knew who I was, and it was just like, you got some balls to sit there and tell me I've done something wrong.
I mean, these religious convergence experiences, I mean, they can be very powerful. I mean, they can overpower all your rationality, all your intellect, all the various brain centers of your brain. So,
Well, I'm just saying, it just turned her into a jerk, and that's the part I really can't. You're just like, wow. I mean, it completely converted her into a jerk.
well, I mean, that's just because, her various brain centers were converted to this hierophany of religious experience, and to her, I mean,
That kind of confidence has to have a reason. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the reason has to be really something almost psychotic, because you're saying, how could she be this retarded? I mean, it wasn't, you know what I'm saying? It's one thing to say, um, I've given myself to an attitude or a way of thinking, but I mean, to deny evolution, to deny, to take it to this extreme, it just seemed like, she had to eviscerate all the logic and all common sense. And that's what I couldn't understand. So how do you
yeah,
kill?
but I mean, that's how it appeared to you, but that's not how it appeared to her. To her, it was just a normal, transformative, transcendental transformation. I mean, to you, it appeared like, you know, the the ugliness of somebody losing their own mind, but that's not how it appeared to her.
Well, I'm sorry, it doesn't matter what it appeared to her. It doesn't even make sense to me. I mean, she obviously wasn't sitting there watching herself. I'm just saying that there's a logical disconnect, and that's the part I don't understand. But she wasn't illogical, and she became illogical.
Yeah, I mean, I've tried several, more than several times. I mean, at least half a dozen times to try to describe what this might be like, and I'm not recommending. I'm definitely, please don't get me wrong. I'm not recommending that anybody does 5 grams of psilocybin mushrooms, but if you were to do them, you might recognize what that experience might be like. But the danger, and here's why I don't recommend it. The danger with doing something like that is you might not come back. You might not come back to normal society and normal functional awareness in how to live in a normal society, with situational awareness. Uh, some do. I have. I've come back, sort of, but a lot don't. And I don't know. I'm not saying your sister ever did any of these psychedelic drugs, but something triggered in her brain that set her off on this course, whether it's bipolar disorder or, I don't know, schizophrenia or whatever. Something set her off in in a direction where she could not come back to normal society and function as a normal, and converse with people in a
Well,
in
that
a
is normal. It's normal in the sense that there is a whole community built around it, so that gives it reinforcement. So that's the problem. is that there is a community that will reinforce people in this nonsense, and that's what kept her. That's what reinforced it. I mean, it did. You know, you do need positive reinforcement.
Wait. Look, can we stop there? What community are you talking about?
I'm talking Pentecostal fundamentalist religious kooks.
Oh, okay. For a minute there, I thought you were going to talk about the New Age community, but you're talking about the Pentecostals. That's interesting.
Well, same difference. I'm saying any community is a community, so it gains reinforcement of ideas through community, and that's part of why this is survivable, is because people need that emotional security that they get in a community, and that's something that's completely foreign to me, of course.
Yeah, Pentecostalism, I mean, I think, if I'm not wrong, that emerged around 1910, 1911 in America. It was a religious movement that, where they were talking about speaking in tongues. Uh, Basically, it dates back to the book of Acts. I don't know if you've ever read the book of Acts, Gary, but in the book of Acts, about 60 days after Jesus' death, they were all speaking in tongues, and that was basically the birth of Christianity. And the Pentecostal movement, which
It's just a fundamentalist version of Christianity, that's all. It doesn't matter whether, I don't care about the details.
yeah, I mean, I don't give a lot of credulity to a lot of the Pentecostal movements, but anyway, that's where it stems from. That whole idea of, I'm
Well, I'm just saying they're
assuming,
big on this literal truth of the Bible thing, the heaven hell thing. It's all the draconian, the darkest parts of Christianity. And such.
yeah, it is kind of strange. I mean, to accept Jesus' message, you basically have to sacrifice. Well, I was about to say you have to sacrifice rationality and reason, but you have to acknowledge that there's something that supersedes rationality and reason, and that's a tough one. I mean, the minute, I mean, rationality and reason is the only thing that keeps me alive, right? I mean, that's the only thing that keeps me going on this earth. And if I were to acknowledge that there's something that supersedes that, I don't know. It kind of leaves me adrift without a rudder, without a oar, without a fucking sail. Just leaves me adrift on the open ocean.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying, it's one thing for people who are not very bright, I guess it would be my argument. I can understand how people who aren't very bright can fall for a 2,000-year-old fable, but I don't understand how people that have any kind of, reasonable understanding of, human nature.
Well,
And,
I'm a Buddhist. I'm not a Christian, but I do study Christianity. I do read the Bible. I try to understand it as best I can. But I try to understand how they reconcile the fact that somebody could get nailed to a cross and that forgives them of all their sins. I personally don't get it. I've tried to get it, but I don't get it.
well, if you're a Buddhist, I don't get, what, you think that Buddha talked to death?
No, I don't see where you're. I don't see that point.
Well, I'm just saying that's the story of Buddha, right? I mean, Buddha is the story of a guy who, had it all, and rejected it because he wanted to know the truth, and he
Sat
bargained
under a
with
tree.
death to get the truth.
Well, basically, there's only two things. You don't need to be a good person to be a good. You don't need to be anything to be a Buddhist. You have to acknowledge 2 points: karma and rebirth. That's it. As long as you acknowledge karma and rebirth, you can be a Buddhist. You could be a murderer. You could be a Mother Teresa.
I don't think Buddha would say that, but okay, fine, whatever. You're taking his.
Oh yeah, he would. Actually, he did say that.
Well, you're gonna have to show me where he said that. Okay, I think you have to
Oh,
do better.
it's in the Pali Suttas, actually. But I mean, that's I don't know. I don't know. We want to focus the discussion on that, but
Well, I'm just saying you brought it up as if there's some grand distinction between one wacky story and another wacky story. I'm just saying that Buddha's got plenty of wacky tied to him. So you
oh, he
think that
does.
you're going
That's you.
to?
You haven't even. You haven't.
Yeah, he does. You don't think it's a little bit
That's just the
wacky?
beginning. That's just the beginning of wackiness. You haven't heard the. It gets way wackier than that.
Yeah, well, so I'm just saying I don't see much improvement then. I don't see much point in in saying you want to help release people from delusions, except your delusions, just to the approved delusions, acceptable delusions.
Well, I mean, yeah, I don't know. I don't want to, hijack the discussion to Buddhism. I mean, we were talking about Christianity and Christ, and I kind of like to stay there for a moment.
Well, we're talking about why people gravitate to nonsense, and I'm just saying that it doesn't. To me, it doesn't matter whether the nonsense is Christianity or Mohammed or Buddha. The nonsense is a story that has nothing to do with the facts of our existence.
Yeah, but I mean, since it's the spirit of the season and all that, Christ was supposedly nailed to the cross for our sins. I was just, you know, trying to focus on that for a moment.
Yeah, well, there's very little evidence of any of that anyway. But I don't, like I said, that's just one story. It doesn't even matter. Like I said, I mean, even Christianity, you can't even define this silly religion. None of the Christians agree on what it is to be a Christian.
Well, okay, let's go there. Let's focus on that. So Christ said, "If you follow me, you will follow my commandments." And he had a whole raft of them. Now, one of them that I mean, not one of them, but a number of them, I find rather difficult to follow. Okay, so for instance, if your enemy smite you on your left cheek, turn to him your right cheek and let him smite you also. I have a problem with that. Because if somebody fucking smites me on my left cheek, I'm going to clock that guy. I'm going to lay him out.
Well, you're a Buddhist, so you believe in karma, and yet you think there's some point in you getting into a smite fight.
Well, I'm sort of a Zen Buddhist, but yeah,
Yeah, well, but yes, that makes a distinction. Oh, I see.
yeah, escape clause.
So one thing, a minute ago, Buddhism was, as you defined it, this is what Buddha said, these are the things you believe in.
You're right. You're right.
You're
But
qualifying it. Okay.
But I mean, okay, so Christ says, somebody smite you on your left cheek, turn to him your right cheek. I have a real hard problem with that.
The principle is, it's just, look, it's just like to do unto others as you have others do unto you. The principle is that you're not going to solve violence with violence. So if your reaction is nothing, then all of the actions will die out eventually. If nobody initiates by retribution, then there won't need to be another retribution. Okay? It's putting the sword away.
Well, I get it. I get it. That makes sense.
In the long run, you're going to win with this strategy, okay? In the long run, this is win. Yeah, it might get a few of you smited before the win, but in the long run, you will win.
All right. Okay. So you get it. So here's another one. If somebody comes up to you and says, you know, I'm cold, give me your cloak, give me your coat, give him your coat and give him your cloak also. So like now you're naked, right? Now this guy's got your coat, he's got your cloak, and now you're fucking naked. That one, I mean, obviously if you're a rich man, you get somebody to, you know, pull another cloak from the cloakroom and no problem. But I assume he was talking about a poor man who has nothing, and you give him your coat and your cloak also. Now you're naked. Now this guy's got your cloak and your coat, and you're naked and freezing to death.
I don't think the argument is written to imply that you should become worse off than the person you're giving the stuff to. So I guess there's a certain, it's a metaphor, and I guess the point is that you, if you have it, you give it. If you don't, you don't. But I'm just saying, I don't know, there's you know, obviously you don't give somebody, you know, if there's only so much food and you'll die without the food, or it's the last cup of water. I don't know if the religion obliges you to give away the last cup of water, but I'm not sure. Like I said, I'm just saying the point is that Jesus was sort of all or nothing. You just kind of invest all the way in this idea, and it's, you know, the word is the magic, you know, the idea is the magic. And if everybody has that attitude, then nobody will ask for more than the other person can give.
Okay, well those were actually the two toughest commandments of Christ that I've always had a problem with. But the others I don't have so much of a problem with. I mean, here's one, you know, forgive others as you would want to be forgiven, right? Like he talks about the whore in the book of John, and you know, they want to stone her to death. They say, Lord, this woman has committed adultery, she's a whore, and by the commandments of Moses, we've got to stone her to death. What do you say? And, you know, he picks up a stone, and he says, well, whoever has not committed any sin, here's a stone, go ahead and throw it at her. And, you know, gradually, one by one, they all fall away. And eventually there's no more accusers, and he says, where are your accusers? And she says, there are none, my Lord. He says, neither do I accuse you.
You know, you can just go back to the simpler line, which is, you know, vengeance is mine, saith the Lord. So again, it's this justice idea and all that kind of crap is not our job. Our job is to, basically, it's a karma statement. It's basically saying, look, your job is to worry about you, not somebody else. Silly, I guess conceptually silly is sort of an insult of some kind, but it doesn't really matter. And such. So, another week. Yeah. Time to flush another week down the old tube and see what comes this time. Another week of fun for no one.
Hey, maybe 2014 will be the end of the world, huh? The apocalypse.
Oh, 2014. I forgot about that. We do have a new number. Yeah, I was kind of getting used to it. I like the 13 thing. That was kind of cool, but 14 is a creepy number.
Really?
Nothing good will happen.
Why is 14 creepy? I've never heard anybody say that.
Well, I mean, it's just creepy. 14. It's kind of a creepy number, right?
Really? I never heard.
Well, I mean, even in my life, I mean, you know, my 13th year I thought was kind of a cool year, but my 14th year kind of sucked, and then 15 was okay. But 14 is just creepy. right? 14 is just kind of a creepy year, isn't it?
No, I
14 is
wasn't
kind
trying to bait you or
No, I'm
draw
not
you in
saying.
here.
It's just one of those numbers that, I just don't got any use for 14. 14 is like a totally not cool number, right? It's totally not related to anything good. I bet the 14th president sucked. I have to go look it up and find out what the 14th president is, but he probably sucked.
I always
Right?
thought it was like 13, which were evil eye numbers, or 7 or
I should
9.
look up 1914 and see what happened in 1914, but it's probably all bad shit that happened in 1914. 14s are just
Yeah, the
bad all over the place.
start of World War One.
Well, there you go. That sucked.
I
Bad.
think
Nothing.
also the start of the Bolshevik Revolution in Russia,
Yeah,
somewhere
there you
around
go. There's no. Yeah, so probably all kinds of bad things happened 14 feet away. Like 14 feet away from here. It's probably some kind of scurvy bug or something. It's all kind of bad news, 14. Yeah, whatever. I don't know what it is. It's just a personal thing. I don't like even numbers, and I just don't like. I don't like 14. I don't know what it is, but yeah, it's just never been a good number for me. Just because I guess I like. It's
multiple
like
of 2
13 was.
primes, 2 times 7.
I know, but see, 7 sucks too. I don't like 7. Seven's creepy. I don't like 7. Don't trust the 7.
7 is definitely creepy. No argument there.
Yeah, so double 7s is too creepy. Yeah, it's funny though. I really do have a bigotry against 14s. I'm a 14 bigot.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah.
Revealing some new information to us tonight.
Yeah, goddamn 14s. I ought to send them all back to 14ia. Anyway.
14.
Huh?
Ray Tex is 14. Or his IQ is, anyway.
Yeah, he's got 14 hairs on his head left, right? Great text. Ugh, God, I hate that guy.
Conference report. The hour. The Inquisition begins. Prove to me you are worthy of the honor of life, or drink deeply from the well of nothingness for all eternity.
Wow, whatever. Some kind of wayward rising video or something. Who's always making weird videos like that?
I never made
Anyway.
a video like that.
Yeah, that's exactly like your videos. Come on. Admit it.
Yeah, I dress up in a skeleton costume and say creepy
You're
things.
always doing shit like that. All the time doing that shit. Confusing the fuck out of me. Alright, anyway, I'm going. I'm leaving. I'm taking off. Yeah, I'm going to sleep and shit.
Good
Until
night,
the
Gary.
next time. Yes, and thank you and such. Hang in there, people. Try not to have any pianos fall on you. Or don't buy any wooden guitar strings. Yeah, exactly. Have a Dorito or something. Burrito.
Suggested the LSD. It was in the apple juice. I suggest threes. How about we get a chimp and barbecue some shoes? I do not understand,
Jordy, see if you can radio Jesus Christ.
Save them. Maybe a twisted. Maybe I'll be a blue piano for Easter.
Really? Blue piano, for sure. Asshole. You ate half my fucking tomatoes and half the fucking fruit punch. Oh, this week I'm learning about piss. Man, apple juice kind of looks like pee. I'll give you some apple juice right in your white ass, yeah. You want it too? Like, what am I saying? It's a fucking apple juice. Great, we're all on acid.
Suggestions.
How about we listen to fucking The Walrus? Yeah, that's the shit when you're on acid. You're a real bastard. What are you gonna do? You're the one who had sex with me.
Apple juice. What the fuck is that?
Hey, you guys, who painted my ass white? A pound of relish and an anchovy would kick ass.
Walk me to Halifax.
Watch me eat 450 fucking hard-boiled eggs. There are too many penguins eating lunch. Shit.
How about we have some soup and fried eggs? What's happening?
Any games?
Yeah, whatever. I want some apple juice.
Truth about apple juice is it makes me sick. Kill Jordy. I figure we roast him alive.
My mission after Apple School is to win the rodeo.
Yeah, so? Ninjas, hijack my mother. Shoot Steven before we go.
Why don't we have some fries? But don't check me out. I'm obviously gonna fish. Abdomen and some dried fish.
Happy in Paraguay, some horny fish.
Are you for panda rape?
You crazy woman?
You shut up!
How many fish heads? 5.
You're crazy.
It's time to poo.
What do you say we make apple juice and fax it to each other?
Captain, the French are about to kick my ass.
Smell that. My van's in pieces. Don't be a dickhead, son of a bitch.
Yeah!
Mind if I fuck around in your attic?
Give me 4 glasses of apple juice.
This is a drag. Hey! Shit! Go the fuck away. Go away. Hey! Apple juice! For half price!
You and me in Japan. Watch me dance.
Oh, yeah! Boy, I'm gonna freak out on you. You have a whole bunch of fish in your bathroom, will you?
I have a sheep doing roofing over at my house. Come and drop in. We'll put on Zeppelin and eat cheddar cheese.
Why did you play with Morph's hair?
I gotta go home and get fucking high.
Jesus is a raisin.
I need to go piss soon, real bad.
I smell. Fuck a hologram. Want some apple juice? I like haiku. Did you water your airport, Jim? Ever scratch yourself until you have a hole in your bag? Haiku.
I have a business installing styrofoam nuns. Fuck a fruit basket.
Fuck, Applehead. I have news about your Dodge Caravan. The IRS impounded it. Jesus. Yeah, and if you want to get it back, you're gonna have to bend over for them. Yeah, welcome to the world of fascism. We ought to say, fuck the income tax. Fire some apples at the IRS building. Awesome.
I hoofed 3 parrots to death. Are you for panda rape? When a beaver fucks me, I get cum on my shoes. Anyway, how about we rape a sheep over in Wyoming? I leave my hand out like this to attract a moose. Help me.
Anchovy?
Ooh, my shoes.
Rubber down.
Hey, you son of a bitch, what are you wearing for Halloween? I'm gonna take a shit. Aqua sausages with apple and papaya cheese. It's fucking amazing. Some apple juice?
Quaaludes.
Acid, weed, or fresh out of lewds? Bitch?
The blowjob to hold the balls. I'll have my eyes extra cold. By the way, salad.
Soup. Have you spiked the dressing? With a bowl of salad. Should be giving it to me hard, of course.
Cheddar.
Head cheese. What happens when a dad smells 2 more bottles of, I don't know, whatever.
I rule at calculus.
Calculate penis.
Oh, I'm a shithead.
Jesus is a potato. Potatoes are cool. Fuck, who put on your dad? Head swing. Your ass is covered with a trampoline. Whoopee.
Can I lick your beard? Fish know that apple juice is sacred. Most fish know what they want.
Yeah, I think you're smuggling apple juice in your cheeks. Robo bitch. I shit basketballs. Over in the bathroom. Basketballs.
Let's have some music, Frank.
Music to shave by.
I'm in love with a hot fucking mountie.
Are your balls juicy? Shave it. I have no stubble. Bah, you gotta fuck the face first.
We need zebra stool. Captain, would you happen to have 3 ounces of zebra stool? Oh, by the way, those roast beef pierogies is fucking awesome.
Sometimes I arm wrestle myself. Hey, Juicy? Hey, buddy.
I'm a gnome.
Ah, screw you, Q. Where's the rest of my mushrooms? You know that Mary has almost no head? Fuck me. Fuck me. What would you like in your face?
Tonight I'll have 5 fish crepes with a bald chimp. And hold the fruit flies. Oh, it's